Good morning, Denise Dryden. I'm out here on Bainbridge Island, and I turned the camera around today so you could see the smoke. It's so thick that it's even hard to see across the backyard. So, that is the smoke that's been coming in from the fires in Oregon and Central Washington and California. So it's just so hard to breathe out here. And so I thought I would talk about this concept of see what you want, because we're in the middle of these tumultuous times, right? Where it's going to require some enormous skills on our behalf. Whether it's we're still in various forms of lockdown, we've got an adjusted education system that just started, we've got fires, we've got smoke, we've got political division, we've got it all going on. Not to mention what's going on astrologically, which sometimes I like to bring in, but I don't want to lose you by bringing that in and continuing to add to it. But man, go and look at what's going on with Mars and Saturn and Pluto right now, and all of this is right on time. Okay, so we're being stirred up. It makes sense. We're being stirred up so that we can let go of the material things that have been keeping us stuck, and the emotional stories that have been keeping us stuck. This is what is happening. It's like, just keep putting stuff on us so that we loosen up and we let go of our grip on the things that we've known to be true for ourselves. So in a lot of my previous videos, I've talked about what does it take to create balance? What does it create what do we have to create in order to stay in our center? How do we use our breathing? How do we use, get ourselves strong in this skill set? And that was because that wasn't like the ending point. Like, when you're strong and centered, that you're okay. It's that this is a preparation for now. Because all of these tools, and you can go back through the last 4 years of videos, have been about what does it take to get yourself into a place where no matter what happens, you can move with it and you can adapt and you can grow with it. So you can address this with new skills, right? So once we're stable, once we have our feet, we can adjust to what's going on. So today I want to talk about seeing what you want, seeing what is possible, holding this in your sight, and looking for examples around you for ways that you want to live. Whether you look at it through writing, through essays, I see it through videos and movies, right? Through pictures. Where do you get your vision of who you are and what you want to be and what works for you and what doesn't, right? How do you access that information? So vision is our ability to see. It's something that you can imagine. It's something you can picture in your mind, right? It's something that you can see in a dream. It's also a Marvel character, right? So vision, it takes insight and it takes skill and it takes focus to hold an image in our head of what we want our world to be. So, this is, it is our most powerful tool, is to sort of look ahead and hold and then start to move in the direction of that. So, going to the concept that form follows thought, that what we think in our head, we start to see outside of ourselves. What we can imagine, what we can hold, what we can bring into reality is created by our thoughts first. So it's sort of like we bring this in to, this is what has captured my attention. This is the person I want to be. This is the way that I see the world. This is the way that I want to navigate in the world. And then we hold that. And then the more that we think about it, it starts to show up in front of us. Right? So I'm going to give you a really beautiful example. A dear friend of mine has 2 elementary age kids. She is a very present woman. She's a master at doing so much, right? So much for herself, knowing about balance, knowing about the human spirit. And she has these 2 young kids. And she did this post that made me laugh. It made me laugh because it was like, oh, there goes the fairy in the smoke. It made me laugh because she did a post and she said, Friday night meltdowns. Let me count your ways. Number 1 in the car. Number 2 on the floor. Number 3 at the dining room table. Number 4 in the grass. Number 5, and the list goes on. And then she just says, it must have been a really long week. And knowing her and knowing this post, I know that her vision is that she knows what she wants to create as a family. She knows what she wants to create as a mother. in a family system with her children. And these things come along, these meltdowns, and you can just imagine this child, right, on the floor, at the table, everywhere, just meltdown. And it's just like, how do you go past all of that towards the vision? So in parenthood, it's a vision that's essential, right? We want to hold, are we wise? Are we compassionate? Are we strong? Are we non-reactive? And we want to see the behavior and just watch it go by, but not react to it. And so this parenting skill is a skill set that makes sense to put into other things, right? So we can practice with our toddlers and our teens and our young adults, and then we can sort of take it a little bit broader. And on the Facebook cover page, I had this picture. I found it. It's two dads, or two men, one dad looking at another man, and they're talking, and they're in the middle of a grocery store, and down on the ground at his feet is this maybe 2 or 3 year old kicking, having a total temper tantrum. And both of them are smiling, and they're just looking down like, I wonder when this is going to stop. And they're not in reaction. And I looked at so many other pictures where it was like moms holding their heads and dads pointing their fingers. And I was like, this is the image that I want us to hold right now in 2020, which is a dad looking down and going, this is just what's going to happen. Or my friend who's saying, it was a meltdown, and it happened here, and it happened here, and it happened here. I didn't take it personally. It's not about me. This poor child is having problems right now. I'm here, I'm available, but, right? So we hold for what we want in the daily, events, and we let the fray go by. We don't take it on, right? So that's the most important thing. And I sort of found this card, this tarot card, which is, we hold on the emotions we want to hold, but we let go of all of these little things that are kind of coming in and tapping us on the shoulder and going like, no, God, what am I supposed to do, right? So, we can also apply this over to our relationships, which is, you're going to hold that I have a partner to walk in line with me, whether it's a partner, a spouse, a co-parent. Is that, this is my closest relationship, and this is the one I have to have healthy between here and down the road and down the road. And so what we do is we observe the behaviors, right? And we hold the bigger vision. And so we don't get stuck in those little tiny things. We monitor, we adjust, we hold for what we want, we speak to what we want, and we move our relationships gently towards that. So there are these periphery distractions, a toddler having a temper tantrum, a glitch in a power struggle in a relationship. Yes, they're real. Yes, we need to be present. Yes, we shift within and around them while holding the bigger picture. And we shift, we change, we hold boundaries. But that isn't the main focus. We're not focused on the boundaries in the moment. We're up here holding to the bigger picture, and we're addressing what comes up and comes along. So let's bring this into that tumultuous events that we're experiencing. Again, yes, 2020 is financially, emotionally, even physically unstable for so many of us. Yes, we have deep divides in our political leadership and options that don't feel good to very many people. Yes, we have very little control over the smoke and the fires and the protests and the discontent out there. And, yet we have control over ourselves as to how we envision something new, right? How we hold on to it. There it is, right out there in the future, right? This is what I want to be. We turn off what is unstable, or we deal with it with kind of like, I always looked at those like Star Wars or Star Trek, where they're going light speed through, and these planets and these asteroids are just chewing. It's kind of like you hold to what you want to do, right? And you let these things, you see them and you handle them and you let them go by. And when we do what we can to keep balanced, we focus on what we see, we focus on what we choose to see. So having a vision, an idea of what you want, and trusting this to be true for you is how we navigate towards this future that we want to create. This is our superpower, is that we can hold a vision, we can line up all of our systems towards it, and we can go right straight at it, and we don't even know how powerful we are when we do that and what we can create. So part of this is that I always do some tools. And And this is, I don't have an actual hard tool because there's so many that I've done in other videos. So go back and look at those, you know, whether it's using your body as a pendulum, how to center yourself, deep breathing, you know, the 3 intelligences. Those are all in those other videos. But I want to go through a list that I think is kind of helpful, okay? Number 1, acknowledge your vision, right? Acknowledge, I have a vision. That you know what's true for you. And then go big. It isn't like, you know, I want to survive this week, or I'd like to get a raise. It's like, how am I going to go to where I want to be in my own future? So set it ahead, throw it out there, you know, so that you can hold on to it, right? So set it out there, get that vision going. Number 2, imagine that this is your desired focus. Use your imagination. Let go of the micromanaging of what you need, you know, what's going on around you, and trust that you'll learn what you need to learn as you're going along through this vision. Trust this. Hold the vision and trust that you're going to learn the skills. And when something comes up, that's a good skill. I need to learn how to do that. I need to learn how to breathe in a grocery store when my toddler is having a tantrum. Number 3, as the challenges come up daily, hourly, minute by minute, see them as opportunities to practice your stuff. Okay, this is another opportunity for me to breathe, to stabilize, and to let it go. Use your skills. These are invitations to use your skills. The bigger the challenges, the bigger the skills. So when they get really big like they are right now, we have to have really big skills to deal with this. Like my friend and her child, this is how she kept her humor and her balance and her compassion. And she played with it. You know, she had a sense of humor. It was beautiful. Number 4, let go of a rigid plan. Let go. That plans don't work when things are changing daily, right? But our intention or our visions can hold us. And then we adapt as it goes along, and we rebalance, and we're flexible, and we adjust. So plan on being challenged, right? Plan on how to keep your cool. Plan on how to hold your balance. Plan on how to face your anger and your frustration and your impatience. Plan on it. Number 5, expect the old stuff to come up. The old stuff will come up. Welcome it. Get to know your old patterns. So I listed 3 that just came up like that so fast. You might start nice and then push a little and then sort of push a little bit more, and then you power over and something goes wrong and then you blame that person. That's one pattern. A second pattern is to start aloof. Like, you know, you're going to do what you need to do. I don't really care. You're going to disengage. And then you're going to disengage and they're going to go do what they want to do because you told them to. And then you're going to feel left out and you're going to get angry. So that's the second one. The third one is to focus on the minutia and to just get stuck in all of this, and your anxiety's going up and you forget about the vision. So these are patterns that you have to just expect that they're going to come up. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm in my micromanaging again. Oh, I'm in my hurt feelings. Oh, I'm in my anger stage. You know these. And then as they come in, you just go like, whoa, bring it back to center, please. Please bring it back to center. And number 6, every single time you catch yourself and choose differently, celebrate. Absolutely. I just steered myself from going down that path to, oh, I'm so mad, to, oh, I'm going to let it go, right? I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to just flow with it. So celebrate this. Be grateful. Be happy. Hold your joy. You're doing it. You're being it. So I hope these videos help. This is the kind of stuff I do in my coaching. This is the kind of stuff I work with tarot with. So if you're interested in learning more, you can find me on DeniseDrydenCoaching.com. And hopefully the smoke will be gone by next week. See you next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.